It's one of the leading causes of death in America. Thousands of Americans die by suicide every year, according to the Centers for Disease Control.
It's not I hate being bipolar, it's awesome. It's actually, it drives more of how you really feel. It doesn't do an opposite thing. So I think it's important for us to have conversations about, you know, open conversations about mental health.
It's a joke if you think everybody's not feeling this. Right. It's a joke if you think everybody's not hiding some secret shame about being anxiety-riddled or depressed at some point. We're all there, okay? Everybody's crazy. It's not a competition.
So last night was the first snow of the season here in Portland, so I thought it would be fun to go out on a little hike and bring you guys along with me. It doesn't snow all too often out here, and it doesn't get below freezing very often, so when it happens it usually makes news and stores shut down, and it's like a snow day for the whole town. But yeah, this is Washington Park that we're in right now. I had asked a few of you out on Twitter if you had anything you wanted me to talk about, and someone had brought up, you know, tips for coping with depression. I've had for the last few months the idea of sharing with all of you some tips to combat seasonal depression, stuff like that. So that's what this video is going to be. With all of our gloomy days and rain, it hit some of us hard out here. I luckily haven't had any severe issues, but there's definitely a winter gloom that happens here. You know, it doesn't usually look this beautiful with the light coating of snow. You know, it's really muddy and wet and rainy and kind of crappy outside. It can really take a toll on people. Exercise is super important for everybody, but especially if you're feeling depressed. You know, your brain is part of your physical body, and working out your physical body is going to have a positive impact on your brain. You know, exercise can play a big part in your mental health. So get outside, go on a nice hike, or, you know, even just spend 5-10 minutes in the gym. If you're not feeling motivated to go, you'll probably be happy you went. And diet is another big thing, just like exercise. That's super important just for your basic daily function, including your brain health and your mental function. It's a little cheesy, but the saying, you are what you eat, is something I kind of take to heart. You know, if you're eating a bunch of junk food, or if you're not eating enough calories, or if you're not taking care of those basic needs for your body, you're not going to be able to fix any of the deeper issues. You need to just take care of those basic core functions first. But after diet and exercise, there are definitely quite a few more things that you can do that'll have a positive impact. One thing I really like to do and recommend is taking vitamin D supplements, especially in the winter months, but there have also been a lot of cases and studies around larger doses of vitamin D helping with depression. As always, though, check with your doctor before starting any of this. I'm not a doctor. I don't know about the proper doses, so talk to them first. The other big thing, blue lights or energy lights or mood lights. I have one made by Philips Hue that my wife bought years ago. That can actually really help too. You can sit in front of them for 15-20 minutes. You get a little bit of extra sunlight into your brain, and that can help with vitamin D. I'll be honest, I don't fully understand all the science of it, but it tended to work for me, so that's something you should definitely check into. I checked on Amazon before making this, and there were a few that were a lot cheaper than I remember from when I got mine, but it ended up being a big help, so something to look into for sure. The last tip I wanted to go over was kind of the main important part. You know, obviously taking care of all those core functions are important, but above all else, you just need to be taking care of yourself and making sure you're doing what makes you happy and what fills you up. And that's a big thing people lose sight of as life goes on week after week and day after day. And just don't lose sight of what gets you out of bed and excited in the morning. You know, do your best to chase that, even if you have to work a full-time job. And you know, focus on your hobbies and your downtime, or focus on a small business you've been meaning to start. just start doing it now. You'll be so happy that you did. It has been so great to see the attention that mental health has gotten in the general media over the last couple of years. I feel like things have been coming out more and more, and it's becoming more acceptable and open to talk about things like that. And the more we communicate and the more we talk, the easier it'll be for all of us to just be a little bit happier with our lives. So just to sum up for everybody, make sure you're exercising. It doesn't matter what kind of activity it is, but get out there and move and just do something. 2, make sure you're eating better. Super important to eat proper nutrition. You are what you eat. If you eat junk, you're gonna feel like junk. Tip number 3, make sure to supplement with vitamin D if you need to after checking with your doctor. Step 4, look into blue lights. They have plenty of them for cheap on Amazon. They've had a big impact for me, but make sure to do everything else before spending money or buying extra things to help with this. I think 95 to 100% will have impact on all the other steps. So I don't want you to rush out and buy this. Don't feel like you need to. Do everything else first. And last of all, number 5, make sure that you're filling yourself up and doing something that makes you happy. But enough with the serious talk. My hands are so freaking cold. Hopefully you guys don't mind the footage being a little bit shakier than you're used to from me. I brought my gimbal. I wasn't sure if I was going to use it or not, but I forgot to bring the plate to mount my camera onto the gimbal, so I couldn't actually use it. That is one thing I would like to say to any new creators or people that don't have the gear that they think they want or need for their business or for their YouTube channel. More gear is more stress and more problems and more difficulty, which can be a great thing because you're able to pull off stuff that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. But with it does make things more complicated is what I mean to say. There's a lot more steps and process and time and effort involved for maybe what used to be super simple. You have a lot more gear and a lot more steps, and it's not the easy glorious time that you make it out to be in your head. It's just kind of your will to spend. So rein that in as much as you can. I struggle with that too, so don't feel bad. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm out of breath. Been walking up this hill. Let me look here. You can't really see. Oh, there's mountains back there. This is just the perfect amount of snow. It's just a nice light coating to make everything look nice and pretty. It's just below freezing right now. I think it's like 30 degrees, but it's cold, but it is nice out. I don't get to see snow too often since I moved out from Michigan. Just so everyone is aware, I know I've drilled this in for so many videos, but this park that I'm in right now, and this is in the city limits. We are, quarter of a mile from downtown Portland right now. Technically in downtown Portland, I think. But yeah, this sort of stuff is just so close, and being able to come out here for a few hours and relax and see some beautiful nature just really makes me love this place. I think I'm gonna sign off and leave you guys here now. Before we go though, I'd love to hear some updates about what everyone's been working on lately, how it's been going. Just fill me in. I feel like I'm still getting reacquainted with everybody since the break. So I'd love to hear from you down below in the comments. I'm gonna hike for probably a few more miles, get some good shots around here to fill in with this video. Hopefully this, Walk With Me 2.0 goes well, we'll see. But thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Oh, it's so cold, you guys. My hands. It is so cold. Anyway.